My name is Lauren Foster, and I'm a senior here at FALA. I am in NHSDA, which is a dance honors society, and it focuses a lot on being like a part of the community and helping out through dance. To spice up a merry-go-round, I would put it on wheels, so then you're going around, but then you're also moving, so then you're like moving while you're moving, and then it's like double moving.
I'm Adam Shimoni, Vice Mayor here in the City of Flagstaff. So obviously I would advocate that the bicycle pedal powered, and so it would only generate momentum as we all would pedal. And there'd definitely be a DJ in the middle, also powered by us pedaling.
I'm Aneeka Bippus. I'm in environmental club, and I kind of sort of run like riding club. It's a middle school riding club. And to make a carousel cooler, well, it wouldn't just have horses. It'd have like Pegasus and dragons, but it would be like, instead of just going up and down, it'd be like I don't know, like up, sideways, around, down.
Hi, I'm Jim McCarthy. I'm on Flagstaff City Council, and I have this idea of taking a carousel down to Lava Falls, which is a big rapid in the Grand Canyon. And if you put that inside the rapid, oh my God, that would just be amazing.
Team Stispico, a super top secret pumpkin carving operation.
The Poppin' Pumpkins.
I want to do a rough draft, like the peaks, like
And do trees inside.
Go with
Oh, we could do that.
Yeah, sounds good. Are there any like specifics? I don't know, like every day is kind of a starting point for a new like opportunity to learn something as a leader. I don't know, it's definitely like a growth process.
I think from a young age, personally, my family gave me opportunities to be a leader, and I've always kind of strived to be a leader. So, for example, at the age of 8, I had my first business. I totally agree with what you're saying about it being something that you have like a new opportunity to grow upon every day, and it's not necessarily something you have to have or you're born with it or you're not, because I think it is something that we grow into as well. But for me personally, I think I've always kind of naturally appreciated leadership opportunities and wanted to be a leader myself. Like you were saying, and like we were saying, it really takes like leadership of listening, being uncomfortable, putting yourself out there, being vulnerable, and then really listening to a lot of other perspectives and being open to listen to other perspectives.
First time I was in a leadership role is when I joined Boy Scouts, and we all got together, and it's like, who's going to be the leader? Somebody says, well, they'll be the patrol leader, and then he says, well, we need an assistant patrol leader. And he said, well, Jim, why don't you do it? So I go, okay, whatever that means. And so I think Boy Scouts is the first time that I became a leader.
At FALA, so I care about the environment because I think it's, well, I mean, obviously we live here, so like we can't live without it. And so I got into environmental club. And this year in writing club, we kind of like just started it, but there was like no general plan at all. So I kind of just like outlined things, and then like we discuss what we're gonna do and be like, hey, do you like this or should we do something else? And then usually they're like, yeah, so then we do that.
My question for you both, like given today's reality and like the lifestyle that you're growing up in, what challenges do you think you see as a young leader? Or do you think like the solutions are right there and we just have to grab them and do them?
Never.
Right. What would be your recommendation as to how to be a better leader? If you had that position, how would you do it differently?
Like being at FALA is a good example of like good leadership, because there's definitely like over the years there's been a lot more like growth in like communication among all of the levels, which I think is really important. Something that's missing a little bit on a wider scale is just like that communication among all of the levels, and you know, like that intent of like, well, why are we doing what we're doing, and,
Right.
and how is it going to affect everyone as a whole?
And what I'm hearing you say too is making sure there's different voices at the table representing all the different levels.
Yeah.
And that you're saying that they do a good job here at FALA at getting all the different levels at that table or communicating.
Yeah, because it's not just one. There's not just one kind of person,
Right.
you know. And
Right.
while it's difficult to accommodate, it's
Right.
possible, and
Right.
we should try to incorporate as many voices as possible.
Yes, absolutely. And do you think that the young voice deserves a seat at the table, whatever that table
Oh,
is?
always. Yeah.
Right.
I feel like there's like always gonna be problems in leadership, and like systems sometimes doesn't work. But like she said, like definitely like communication, and everyone should be able to like have a voice. There's like a system in place to like how you live and like what goes on and the rules you should follow. But there's like, it's not perfect, and even if you change it, there's still gonna be like problems within it. It's like nothing's perfect because people have like personalities and likes and dislikes and beliefs.
Right. You both kind of talked about like having voices at the table, and also you talked about how there's going to always be issues. Do you have any ideas how we can minimize those issues? Do you have any thoughts?
Well, everyone needs to be equal from the start, so everyone like gets an equal voice, so there isn't like prejudice. People are gonna think some things are important and other things aren't, and some people are like, but it is important.
Right.
And so it's not like everyone's just a robot and they're just gonna obey and be like,
Right.
I agree.
So let's say you're in a position of leadership, and Jim and I both are members of the community, and we both have an issue, and we're both coming to talk to you. The difference is Jim is working 3 jobs or 2 jobs, and he's super busy, so he barely even has the time to come and talk to you. And I have a lot of money, and I actually give you your campaign money so that you can keep running and getting elected, and I actually come to every meeting you have. Do you think that you are going to listen to me more than Jim, or how are you going to make sure that we're both heard?
Well, everyone should have an equal voice, so everyone should listen and express your opinion, but you have to also listen.
Right, so would you say you might have to go out of your way to listen to Jim, because Jim maybe can't come to you as, frequent as I can?
Yeah.
I guess one of my questions would be like, well, I know like for you, Adam, personally, you said that you kind of had a grasp on like what you wanted to do from a young age, but is there anything that you can do and anything you can put yourself into that'll kind of help you get a better idea of like what you care about?
And I wouldn't say that I knew what I wanted to do from a young age. I'd say that I had certain skill sets that I appreciated in myself, and like I enjoyed kind of leadership, and I just kind of naturally rose to different positions of leadership. I was on a track to be a teacher. That's what I was really passionate about, for special education, and at times kids with severe and profound disabilities. I'd say, like you said earlier today, stay true to your values and your core, and that's really what should drive you. Let your life unwind and just be a passenger in that.
Well, and it's a lesson I learned because I'm a river runner too. I sold it, but I used to have a river raft. And one thing you learn, you can't fight the river. You have to learn to go with the flow and let the flow and you complement each other. Sometimes in life is that way. My brother has a degree in history. He spent his career in office supply business. So it really doesn't matter so much exactly what you pursue. Just be flexible, because, if you can be a historian running a store, or an engineer being a city council person. And then if I don't get reelected, that's fine. I'll play more guitar and I'll do more river running. So you go with the flow.
Do you think do you think that there's a good amount of people that come out to vote in Flagstaff?
I feel like probably a lot of people do vote, but there's probably also a lot of people who don't vote, because I feel like it's pretty stratified.
I think a lot of people would vote, but I don't really know. It's kind of hard.
They say that we have a high voter turnout in Flagstaff, and I looked into those numbers, and I saw that approximately half of the population registers to vote in Flagstaff. So say about 35,000 people register to vote in Flagstaff.
Yay.
Now, how many, okay, here's another question for the two of you. Of the people, so half the population of Flagstaff registers to vote. So that means the other half isn't going to vote. They don't even register. And some of them just can't, but a lot of them could and they don't. Now, the population that does register to vote, what percentage or what amount of that population actually votes?
It's kind of biased here because everyone at FALA is definitely like, I'm going to vote and I'm going to take action and things like that. But I think that just going and doing it can be difficult.
It was like, at times, I think it was like 50% of the 50% were actually voting.
Roughly.
So it was like a quarter of the population were actually the ones making decisions on all of our behalf.
All right, you turn around.
Do we
Hit it.
vote? Okay,
Okay,
ready?
good.
Our super top secret pumpkin operation. We made some
Ta-da!
mountains. So it's the peaks then.
I hiked on all three of them.
And all of the things that we like.
So you have snow on the top, of course, natural snow, and then you have,
A little politics there.
and then you have, let's see, we have
I like it.
pi symbol.
For math, because I like to do that. And then the smiley face, because joy is important.
Yup. And then I put in a bicycle, of course, that also is referencing a carousel, and a music note and a heart. Hit it! Ta-da!
Well,
Oh, that's
the face is
mouth.
traditional,
And these are the eyes.
Wow.
and the tree shows innovation. So, combination between traditional and innovation.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.